It's good to be here on your radio and good to be here on your airwave on the internet this morning. And we apologize for not being on radio because of power shortage. However, we're on your internet this morning, and we want to say welcome to the program Capital Watch. And it's on our radio program of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It is the primary radio-based communication and information simulation platform of Central. So like we told you and we advertised on our pages, we are bringing to you today the young fellow who found a bag containing huge amount of US dollars, and he was able to deliver that money back to the owner. That was after it was announced on a local radio station that the owner was in search of their bag containing the money. So Emmanuel Tuloe is a 19-year-old motorcyclist in Nimba. Specifically, he lives in Lord-Yala, but he runs between Lord-Yala and Tapeta as well as Grenville. So Emmanuel and his parents are going to be our guests this morning on this program. So we're able to get in touch with Emmanuel's parents, Mr. Eric Benson. Mr. Eric Benson and Sis Justina Daddy. So the Justina Daddy and Eric Benson are the parents of Emmanuel. So they are going to be our guests this morning on the program. So if Mr. Benson and Anthony, if you are listening, you are following this live broadcast, we ask you to join on the link that was shared with you so that we can have this conversation. And later on along the way, we will try as much as possible to join Madam Musu Nyancy, whose money got missing and she was able to recover that money. We want to find out from Musu how she felt the money got missing and when it was discovered, what feeling did she have? So we're going to talk about those things this morning. So as soon as we're going to suspend most parts of our program this morning and go to our guests so that we can have sufficient time to discuss with all of them. So we are just trying to link up with them, and as soon as our television signal on, we're going to link up with them so that we can begin the program. So we said to you the program right now is Integrated Watch. It's a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. It comes your way every Thursday on ECOWAS radio, but today, because of the power problem we have with ECOWAS, we are going live on your stream. So if you have comments, you want to make your comments, you want to make your input, you can comment on our live feed so that we can have this discussion together. Our technicians are trying to connect with the guests so that we can have this discussion. So for a background to what we are about to talk about, Emmanuel, a motorcyclist, 19-year-old, was on his way on his usual hustle when he found a bag. And in the bag, there was an amount of 50,000 US dollars and 100,000 Liberian dollars. He took the money and had it kept. When the owner of this money, Madam Musu Nyancy, put the announcement on the radio that she was in search of this bag, Emmanuel and his brother took the money back to the owner. So in return, in appreciation of this high level of integrity exhibited by this young man, Madam Nyancy was able to appreciate them with at least an amount, for them. So we grew interest in this, and we have been linking up with different partners to see how we can elevate this to the highest, because it is a very high degree of integrity that was exhibited by this young man. So when we get connected with Emmanuel, we are going to be asking him to tell us what were the feelings, what were the thoughts that were, roaming his mind when he discovered that this amount of money was in a bag that he discovered. When he found the bag, there were not a group of people there to tell him, say, go and deliver. He was not under any pressure to deliver this money. But he did it because of integrity. So he delivered the money to the owner. So that is what drew our attention to talk about this. Not many people would do these kinds of things. Not many people would deliver and turn over such a huge amount of money to the owner after discovering it, and especially when nobody was there to tell you, say, oh no, this is not for you, or whatever is supposed to be done, let's do the right thing, all of that. I mean, most people would not have done that, but Emmanuel did. So that is the reason why we have come this morning to speak with Emmanuel and his parents. So we are going to be asking the parents, how did they bring Emmanuel up? What are some of the things that they taught him? And what has been his lifestyle? How has Emmanuel been living? Is he, one of those that usually engages into, dubious acts? Or is he somebody who's always, dedicated and conscious about what he does? So those are things we're going to be finding out this morning so that the parents can explain to you about the upbringing of this child. We sincerely apologize for not being on your airway this morning on the radio, but we are on the internet. So we say thank you for joining us, and let's have this conversation together. So if you have your comments, you have whatever input you have, you can leave your comments on our live Facebook feed on Integrity TV. So let's take a break so that we can join our guests. When we come back, we're going to join our guests. Let's take a break. Okay, so viewers, we have on the line. We sincerely apologize for the network problem we are experiencing. You cannot view our guests because of the network problem. So we have them on the line. We're going to be talking to them on the line. So Mr. Benson, Mr. Eric Benson is Emmanuel Tuloe's father. Mr. Benson, good morning. I'm doing well. Can you introduce yourself? I mean, if there are people around, maybe the place is not, the background is a little bit noisy. Yeah, there are feedback we're receiving. I don't know where it's coming from. Okay. We want you to introduce yourself so our viewers or listeners can be able to know who you are. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So what is your connection with Emmanuel Tuloe? Yes. Mr. Benson? Yeah, let's hear you. Mr. Benson? Yes. Okay, I'm hearing you now. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, great, great. All right. So, yeah, I'm getting you. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Oh, great. So the auntie, great. So the auntie is Justina Daddy. So is Justina around you? Mr. Benson, is Justina around you? Is Justina okay? Okay, since you are there right now, check. Yeah, sure. That what can happen. Let's stay together. So tell us what was the upbringing for Emmanuel since you took him, you met him at 12, and he has been with you. What are some of the things that you put into it, the trainings that you put into him? The first thing we started with Emmanuel is growing up. We started growing up. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So somebody he started with a charging. All right. So you were in the charging for 7,000. Okay. So one day he came up with our cash. Okay. Not money, we don't have this story. Church money lost people. Yes. Great. So when we started him, back in school, we Okay. Great. Alright. So since you started riding since he started riding the motorbike, has there been any case in point where the owner brought complaint about him not reporting properly? Okay. Great. Where is Emmanuel? Yeah. Is Emmanuel around? Yeah, Emmanuel. How are you? Okay. Tell us, just introduce yourself small. Tell us a little thing about yourself. Emmanuel Tuloe, yes, we know that's your name. But where do you live in your connection with, even though your father said it, but we just want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Mhm. Okay. So, what are you doing right now in Diala? Uh-huh. Okay, so you are a motorcyclist in Diala right now. Okay, let me go straight to the point. So, Emmanuel, you were, okay, just give a little story about the money, how you found the money, how that process went. Just give a little story about that. Mhm. Yeah, getting you. Yeah, getting you. But let it put that around you, let it just reduce the noise more so that the people who listen to can hear you clearly. Yeah, that go. Wow. So when you saw that bag, so when you saw the money plenty in the bag, you got scared. Okay. But when you saw the money, what were some of the things that were coming to your mind? Because maybe so young people when they see plenty of money, the thing that will start coming to their mind will be to go buy the nice clothes, to go build house, to go do the one. What are some of the things that were coming to your mind? Even though the money not for them. But when you saw it, what things are keeping your mind? Okay. So then what did you do? Okay. So then later on you heard announcement on the radio. So people we are a little bit confused about the exact amount of money that was in the bag. How much was the exact money in the bag? Oh, okay. Because okay, I will talk to the owner to ask her about how much was the exact money because people say 50,000, some people saying 30,000. So we're not very clear about it yet. But I mean, Emmanuel, what is it now? I mean, how are you feeling right now the way you found such a huge amount of money and you not for you and you took it and gave it back to the owner? And the way people praising you now, how you feeling? Okay. So you feel fine that you were able to do such a thing. And have you heard anywhere in one point where somebody came to you and say it's good for people to live with, or you been going to church before? or going to whatever religion. I mean, I'm asking the question because I want to know. Eh? I'm asking the question because I want people who try to link the religious background and they want to know your upbringing. Maybe you were in the people were whether they were Muslim or they are Christian. They teach you how to live with such to be afraid of people things. Did they bring you up with that? Okay, let me where enter. Yeah, let me talk to the engine spot. Let me talk about that one there too. Yeah, man, how are you? Yeah. Just tell your full name, call your full name to us so that we can hear it. Justina and Daddy. Alright, Justina. So you are Emmanuel and tell us what are some of the training you put inside Emmanuel? Eh? You get me? Yeah, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I was asking him because I mean you put training into him when you see people things when something not for you, don't touch it. When you go somewhere and people maybe things that not belong not concern you, don't talk about it. Now these are the kind of things I ask me about. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, let me just take this, even though Mr. Benson talked about it, but I want you to tell us about your auntie. Give us a story about your auntie. What happened along the way? And what happened? You guys say Emmanuel with your grandmother, right? Yeah. Okay. So Emmanuel, how you call it? Father passed, right? Okay. Okay, all right. Oh, they wouldn't learn how to speak English. No, I mean, I know she not going to speak English. Okay, all right. So let me, eh? Okay, who's that? Let me call your name now. Okay, Justina. So I was asking about, because there was a sad story of your husband said about um, Emmanuel father. So maybe I just want you to talk about that story small so that people can understand, how Emmanuel is. Yeah, he said Emmanuel father died. Yeah. Okay, so 2008. Or he been living with you? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so you are listening to the program Integrity Watch, and we are live today on the television, and we are having as our guests Emmanuel Tuloe, the 19-year-old motorcyclist who found a bag containing huge amount of money, and he was able to return it to the owner. And Emmanuel's parents, the guardians, are on the line with us, and they are our guests. Mr. Eric Benson is Emmanuel's one of Emmanuel's guardians, and then Madam Justina Daddy is Emmanuel's mother. So they are on the line with us, and we're talking about Emmanuel's upbringing and how Emmanuel has been living and the life he has lived. And she told us that the training they put into Emmanuel, that's the training that's manifesting into his life, and he was able to find such a huge amount of money to deliver it back to the owner. It all boils down to the kind of training that he was, now placing for him. So that's the discussion we are having today. So we are on your TV, on Integrity TV. So the reason why we are elevating this because it is a very hard thing to see for young person like Emmanuel. Young person like Emmanuel to fund such a money and be scared. Some will see it to be what we call their forfeit. That means that they are on a lock. I mean that what will come to other people's mind. But you as a parent, and even the parents, some parents too will back it. Some parents will back it and will say, "Oh, but don't carry the money. Let them take the money and eat it." But you didn't do that. You said, "No, I never train you to see people things and take it to be for yourself. You found the money, then take it and give it back." I mean, so now how are you feeling, Justina? How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? With the kind of the way people are so moved by what's happening. Great. So there are people who say Emmanuel should be honored as a national hero. So they should honor him. The government. There are people who are saying Emmanuel should be honored. People should give honor to Emmanuel. What do you think about it? All right. You can't tell why you didn't suffer to get. So you. All right. All right. If you are following viewers, I could speak small to you to all. I could speak small to all. I will ask our viewers excuse so that I can speak. I will ask our viewers excuse so that I can speak. I can connect with our guest and with the grandmother of Emmanuel. the grandmother of Emmanuel does speak English. So I will ask that you excuse me a little bit so that I can speak the dialect to her. Mama be Mom? Mama be my uto day. Be okay. So kan kan Emmanuel go Emmanuel day or ada memuka Emmanuel day or ada day itu waktu bio Oh, okay. So no Emmanuel. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So what she's telling us, Emmanuel is her grandson. Emmanuel's father died, and Emmanuel left with her, and she read Emmanuel. So that's what she's telling us. So, because Emmanuel will be there, and do I get close guy? Okay. Okay. All right. So Emmanuel's grandmother saying she told Emmanuel, she read Emmanuel to be a good child, to go to school, and he has gone far with his education, but she does not have money for him to continue his education. So I will now speak with Emmanuel to know what class is he in. Mama, before I know Emmanuel, I will appear. Emmanuel, what's your class right now? What class are you in now? Okay, you are in 7th grade. So 7th grade, right? And are you still in school? So you're not in school now. So because why are you not in school? All right. So your parents don't have a hand, you don't have money, so you drop out of school and then you are riding a motorcycle, right? And you are riding the motorcycle for somebody else. Is that clear? Is that right? All right. Okay. Okay. So we will now see whether we can. Okay. So we ask our viewers to leave your comments on our feed. Leave your comments because the guests are on the line, so we can be able to read out your comments to them, and they can, have your participation. Just leave your comments on the line. Again, we want to say we apologize sincerely for the breakdown in the for us not being on the radio this morning because of power power shortage at the radio station on ECOWAS Radio. So, but we are connected with you on the internet, and we want to say to you, let's just leave your comments on our feed so that we can read it out to our guests. Today, our guests are Emmanuel Tuloe. Emmanuel Tuloe is a 19-year-old motorcyclist. He's a 19-year-old motorcyclist in Nimba County who found a bag of money containing 50,000 and 100,000, 50,000 US dollars and 100,000 Liberian dollars. So Emmanuel's parents are on the line with us, and we are having discussion this morning, talking about how Emmanuel was raised and how what upbringing we had. So we are going to rearrange this conversation to see how we can have it on the radio and also on the interpretive TV next week, so that we can have this discussion. So we are going to leave it at that, and so that we can go to the next section of our program that our guests have to leave. So let's leave it at that. So we say thank you ever so much for joining us. So we're going to rearrange this appearance. Will be next week, Wednesday. We'll rearrange it so that we can have time on the radio so we can talk about it. But today we're not on the radio, and then we'll be able to have you live. We'll have you live so people can see you as you are talking. People will see you, and they'll be able to know who's talking. So that will be done next week. Today, it was unfortunate that the place we are, there is no current. The radio station had no current, so that the reason why we're not on the radio. So we should have been on the radio so that you can explain all the things that you're explaining. But as you're explaining it, it's on the internet. People are following us on our internet TV page. So they see, they're hearing you all over the world. People are hearing you, everything you are saying, people are hearing you. But next week, we're going to arrange it so that we can have you on the radio. So thank you so much, Mr. Tuloe, Mr. Benson. We say thank you. Thanks to Anthony. Thanks to Ma Justina, and thanks to the grandmother. Thanks to Emmanuel. All of the efforts so far for us to be on the radio on the internet this morning to talk about your life. Thank you, and we'll join you next week. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the program you are listening to is Integrity Watch. It's a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency, Accountability, and Liberia. So we were online with Emmanuel Tuloe. Emmanuel Tuloe is a 19-year-old motorcyclist who found a bag containing 50,000 US dollars and 100,000 Liberian dollars. He was able to return that money to the owner, who is Madam Musu Nyancy. We spoke to Madam Nyancy this morning, and we spoke to her this morning, and maybe we can just talk to her briefly because we promised to call her. So we can just talk to Madam Nyancy briefly before we record it a day. We can see whether we can talk to Madam Nyancy because we are promised to call her. So let's see whether we can talk to her on this network this morning. So we are now trying to join Madam Nyancy on the network this morning. We'll just hear from her feeling about this entire saga. So the program is Interpretive Watch. It's a 1-hour radio program brought to you by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. Mamusu, how are you, man? I know the setting have made you host. How are you? Okay. So like I told you this morning, I said I'm going to call you so that you can just talk small thing about, how you felt the time your money got missing. How are you feeling? Yeah, how you felt the time the bag got missing? I know. Just tell us how the bag went missing first. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. So she told her son say the money that they are taboo. Wow. Okay. I mean, so how were you feeling the time the money got missing? The time you didn't know that it was fun and all of that. How were you feeling? Such huge amount of money. Okay. So we a little bit confused about the exact amount of money. People say 50,000, some people say 30,000. How much was it the US dollar and how much was it the Latvian dollar? Oh, all of them combined are 50,000. Oh, okay. So now when they call you or when they call you say, oh, we found the money or they brought the money to you, how you feel? Wow. Oh, wow. So you were celebrating. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. So like I told you, yesterday when I called you, I was on the radio and I wait to talk on it. But right now you're on the internet. So we're having the show on the internet because the other radio station has a lot of time. Nobody see you, but they hearing your voice. They hearing your voice. But next week I will call you again, but it will be Tarata Market Day. That Wednesday. So, but I will call you so you can talk on the radio, so that people can hear you all around the place, so they can know how you felt the time the money got missing, and then how you feel you felt that you're celebrating all night, you slept outside jubilating because you found the money, so you can share that kind of story. So thank you. I will allow you to eat your meatball, and thank you so much for accepting our call. Okay, man. Okay, man. Thank you. So you are listening to the program Integrity Watch and you are following us live on Integrity TV. We say thank you for being there. The program, the people you've been listening to, they are those who are connected to the money that was missing. According to Musu, the total amount of money that went missing or was found was 50,000. So the US and the Liberty combined made sum the money up to 50,000. So it was $50,000 that went missing, and she was able to recover that. According to her, they stepped outside jubilating because they were able to recover such a huge amount of money. Her bossman came and said, "This boy has done so much for us. Let us give him 1,500 United States dollars." And that money was given to the boy. And she said, this particular incident has connected the both families. They are now connected because the parents of this boy, Emmanuel Tuloe, they are God-fearing people, so they were able to connect with us. So they were able to connect with us, and that's the discussion we've been having this morning. So So I want to say to you, thank you, and let's just we have a few time left so that we can close. Okay, so say thank you for being there. We say thank you ever so much for viewing, and we want to leave it at that. And next week we are going to join. We are going to rearrange with our guests so that we can join with them and have a discussion. Thank you ever so much, and let's meet next week, Wednesday and Thursday, for us to have this discussion on the radio. Thank you. My name is Sam. And my colleague Mark Bondau has been making sure that the integrated TV streams are broadcast this morning. Thank you, and let's make a date to meet.